No one saw this coming. Not the scale, not the emotion, not the sheer audacity of what BTS just pulled off. The ARIRANG World Tour was supposed to be a comeback. What it actually turned into was one of the largest, boldest, most legendary stadium runs in modern music history. And ARMY worldwide are still trying to process it. Let's rewind for a second, because the road here matters. In October 2025, Bloomberg quietly reported that BTS was preparing what insiders were calling their biggest world tour ever. At the time, it sounded like hype. Then, on January 13th, 2026, Big Hit Music dropped the official announcement. A 79-date, 34-city run spanning Asia, North America, Europe, and Oceania, with more cities promised for 2027. 2 days later came the name that would define this era, ARIRANG, tied to the title of their brand new 5th studio album. Within weeks, that 79 date number had already started climbing. By the time the dust settled, the tour had ballooned to more than 88 shows across 23 countries. Officially the largest K-pop world tour ever mounted, and one of the biggest stadium tours by any artist, period. And the tour hadn't even started yet. The opening night, April 9th, 2026, in Goyang, South Korea, was always going to be emotional. This was the first time all 7 members, RM, Jin, Suga, jhobe, Jimin, V, and Jungkook, stood on a stage together as a complete group since wrapping their mandatory military service. 3 nights at Goyang Stadium. A sold-out pre-sale that crashed servers within minutes. Queue numbers in the millions. Fans reportedly flying into Korea just to get faster internet access for the ticket battle. This wasn't just a concert opening. It was a reunion the entire world had been waiting years for. But here's where ARIRANG started separating itself from every previous BTS tour, and honestly, from most stadium tours by anyone. The production design centers on a full 360-degree in-the-round stage. No backs to the crowd, no good side of the venue, no sections that get a lesser experience. Every single seat in every stadium becomes a front row seat at some point in the show. It's an engineering choice as much as an artistic one, and it's allowed venues to push capacity higher than ever before while still keeping the show fully immersive. Watching footage from Goyang, the stage doesn't just sit in the middle of the crowd, it makes the crowd part of the performance. Then there's the moment that ARMY still can't stop talking about. At the Goyang show, during the encore, BTS performed the traditional Korean folk song ARIRANG. The very song their new album takes its name from, and the visual that accompanied it became instantly iconic. That set list and that performance rippled outward in ways nobody fully predicted. By the time the tour reached Stanford Stadium in the Bay Area on May 19, 2026, Bay Area ARMY had organized something extraordinary. Thousands of fans simultaneously raising South Korean flags while singing along to ARIRANG in unison with the group. It wasn't choreographed by the tour. It wasn't a marketing stunt. It was fans on their own, turning a song about longing and homeland into a shared global moment thousands of miles from Korea. That's the thing about this tour that keeps catching people off guard. It's not just big, it's meaningful in a way that's hard to manufacture. This is a group that spent years apart fulfilling national service. And now they're using a tour named after one of Korea's most treasured folk songs to reintroduce themselves to the planet. Every stop seems to carry a little more weight because of that backstory. The numbers alone are staggering enough to make this legendary, without any of the sentiment attached. The North American leg alone touched cities most K-pop tours never even consider. Tampa, El Paso, Stanford, Las Vegas, Chicago, Toronto, and a historic first-ever K-pop headline show at Gillette Stadium near Boston on August 5th and 6th, 2026, something the venue itself called the first and largest headlining K-pop concerts in its history. Las Vegas alone got 4 nights at Allegiant Stadium, one of the rare stops on the entire run to receive that many dates. Reports out of Mexico City described over 70,000 ARMY gathering outside the stadium just to be near the energy of the show, even without tickets. In Busan, the 2-night homecoming stretch pulled in an estimated audience of 110,000 people combined. Europe wasn't spared from the madness either. Tickets for Madrid, Brussels, London, Munich, and Paris reportedly sold out almost instantly, with organizers scrambling to rework global logistics just to keep up with demand. Spain and Belgium, along with Colombia, Peru, and Argentina, are being visited by BTS on a world tour for the very first time ever. New territory, even for a group that's already broken nearly every record there is to break. And then there's Asia. Indonesia gets not one, not two, but 3 nights at Gelora Bung Karno Main Stadium in Jakarta this December, with a third date added after the first 2 sold out almost immediately due to overwhelming demand. The Philippines is getting its own additional stop in Bulacan in early 2027. Japan and the Middle East are still pending official dates, expected to be announced as the tour rolls into its next chapter. Even with all of this expansion, there's been a notable and frustrating gap for fans in one of the world's largest markets. India still doesn't have a single confirmed date on the schedule, despite repeated requests and a wave of Indian Army rearranging international travel just to catch the tour in neighboring countries like Thailand instead. What makes ARIRANG feel different from past BTS tours, even compared to the iconic Permission to Dance on Stage run back in 2021 and 2022, is the sheer ambition of doing all of this as their first set of headline shows post-hiatus. PTD on Stage spanned 12 shows across 3 cities. ARIRANG is pushing past 88 shows across more than 30 cities and 24 countries, expanding in real time as demand keeps outpacing supply. That's not a comeback tour. That's a victory lap dressed up as a comeback tour. The setlist itself has become a point of fascination for fans dissecting every show online. Most nights follow a consistent backbone, but BTS has built in surprises. 2 random tracks pulled from their full discography performed live at every single stop, meaning no 2 shows are guaranteed to feel the same. At the Busan show specifically, One More Night replaced the usual Please in the rotation, and the group performed a Korean-language version of Normal, giving the hometown crowd something distinctly their own. It's a small detail, but it's exactly the kind of thing that turns casual fans into the kind of fans who track set lists across continents just to catch the differences. Beyond the stage itself, BTS and Big Hit built out an entire surrounding ecosystem called the City ARIRANG, pop-up experiences and citywide programming tied to the album and tour, running in Seoul, Las Vegas, and Busan at different points throughout the year, alongside limited-run pop-up merchandise stores appearing in select countries through most of June. It's less concert tour and more global cultural takeover. With every city the tour touches getting flooded with branded experiences well beyond just the stadium show itself. It's no surprise, then, that the tour's cultural footprint has reached well past the usual entertainment headlines. The New York Times weighed in on the group's return, framing BTS as a symbol of K-pop whose influence on the genre's international breakthrough may never be fully replicated by the generations that follow them. That's not fan hyperbole. That's one of the most respected papers in the world acknowledging that this comeback isn't just a nostalgia play. It's being treated as a genuine cultural event, and the accolades have followed accordingly. In the middle of the tour's North American leg, BTS took home Artist of the Year at the 2026 American Music Awards, a win that, depending on who you ask online, either confirmed or further fueled an ongoing rivalry narrative with other major pop acts also nominated that year. Win or lose those online debates, the trophy made one thing clear. The industry isn't treating this tour as a victory lap for a group coasting on nostalgia. They're treating BTS, right now in 2026, as the biggest act in the room. So when people say no one expected this, they're not exaggerating for clicks. No one predicted a comeback tour would expand mid-run to become the largest K-pop tour ever staged. No one predicted thousands of fans halfway across the world from Korea would spontaneously raise South Korean flags together during an encore. No one predicted a 360-degree stage turning every single seat into a great seat, city after city, for over 80 shows straight. And no one predicted that, years after their members scattered across military bases instead of stages, BTS would come back not quietly, not cautiously, but as the single biggest live act on the planet in 2026. ARIRANG isn't just a tour name. At this point, it's basically shorthand for the comeback nobody was fully ready for. And with Japan, the Middle East, and possibly more dates still to come in 2027, this legendary run is far from finished writing its story.